Hey everybody, this is Rob Gauthier, the ET Whisperer. I want to share with you guys a free, almost 2-hour channeling from last year's event. It is April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of 2015. We had an event which was a 3-day extensive workshop in Asheville, North Carolina, and it was about channeling and CE5. So I wanted to share with you day 3, part 3, which was the very last segment of our event last year. I wanted to share this with you guys. It's never been shared before publicly, and it's amazing Q&A with Treb and Aridif taking questions from everybody who was there at the event last year. We are also having another event in Asheville, North Carolina, as we do every year, and it is going to be in less than 2 weeks away. It's going to be June 17th, 18th, and 19th of 2016, and I'm going to let Kalina Angell, my partner and the channeler of the Arcturian 103, tell you guys a little bit more about this year's event before we start our channeling. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the love. You can check out everything at etwhisperer.com/workshops. Love you guys.
Hello, we are channelers Rob Gauthier and Kalina Angell. We invite you to join us for a beautiful, intensely transformative 3-day workshop in Asheville, North Carolina at Holiday Inn on 42 Tunnel Road, June 17th, 18th, and 19th. Metamorphosis of the new 5th dimensional being into the center. We'll explore what it means to transition from 3rd dimensional to 5th dimensional beings. Rob and I will share our personal journeys and share our various ET and angelic guides who've all been through the 5th dimensional transition before. Rob will be channeling Archangel Metatron, ancient Pleaidian Denebian Aridif, benevolent reptilian hybrid humanoid Treb Bor Yit NE, a section of the future human race, the NE Hall, and attendees, guides, counterparts, and hybrid children that long to step forward and share. Kalina, myself, will be channeling the Arcturian 103 Collective. Metatron, Aridif TReb, the NE Hall, and the 103 Arcturian Collective will share their experiences, wisdom, and tools for connecting to your own 5D awareness in a loving and non-invasive way. We will dive deeply into understanding what creating your own reality is and aligning with your new 5D self, with your higher self, oversoul, and to source. Even Rob and myself will be learning with you from our guides and yours. Each day will be 6 to 8 hours, include question and answers, 1 free organic meal with vegan and vegetarian options each day. The class is also kept to a minimum of 25 people to assure the individual attention, love, and support needed. Included are gifts, additional tools, and materials for you to take with you as you continue your expansive journey. For more information, go to etwhisperer.com/workshops.
The more focused you are about your question, the more direct and the more pointed it is, the better the reflection of answer, and the energy within you makes a big difference. And this is why we're going to do like a pre-grounding before the channeling tonight, so all of us will be nice and grounded, relaxed. We're going to use Forest Bowl, and thank you for letting us use that today, brother. And we're going to go ahead and start getting ready, so all of you guys, relax, get your bodies loose. Get your eyes closed and get your breathing circuit started. In the nose and out the mouth. Deep breathing. Chakra in your root down to your feet like the branch of trees. Let it puddle as you're breathing the white light in. And place that red energy 30 feet in the ground and let that energy be a two-way street. Red energy into the earth, all of your anxiety, nervousness into the earth, and let return the neutral energy of the earth. neutralize with you now. Just keep your breathing. All right, let's get started. Good evening to you all. This is Aridif, that is Aridif, and this is it spelled. There are many queries for many of you this evening. We will not bother you with speaking of any one terms, but allow you to speak of yours. Begin as you may.
I have a question for you, Aridif.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a great excitement about this question, actually. There's a molecule called the God molecule, and it's DMT, and people frequently use it to move to universal consciousness. So that's what they feel that they are experiencing. And some people, as they make that journey, experience entities like praying mantises and some mechanized type entities. And I just wonder if you could explain to us what that's all about.
Yes. In turn, this God molecule, or this lock and key mechanism that works within your pineal gland, what this truly is is your mind doing what your soul does when it is in the high fourth density. You're also able to project into fifth and sixth density consciousness, but in your experience from Earth as third density beings, it allows you to see the level of consciousness in which you are much higher. As all of you now are in the fourth density, you may go into the fifth density while taking this specific molecule. Understand it does not exchange your physical body, as ascending in any vibrational energy perhaps could. But in this common molecule, in this one concept of DMT, or whether it is any hallucinogenic or entheogen, it allows your brain to do what your body truly will do during true ascensional period. When your vibration of the molecules within your physical body from the DNA that is within you is vibrating on a higher level, your consciousness and physical body follow into a density shift. While your brain is the only thing that is doing this in that shift, you are still able to perceive that which truly is in the fifth density vibration. Many of you have peeked into the fourth density many times, but in order to see the fifth density consciousness in which this drug or entheogen can take you into, you must first be able to experience your daily existence as a fourth density being. Many of you are shifting in and outward of fourth density consciousness. You are not staying in one set of mind. When your anxieties and day-to-day routines bring you into your third density vibrational level, your body and consciousness still exist within fourth. Once you feel your consciousness full to where it feels as if you are in fourth density at all times, then you may exceed the specific boundary and enter the fifth density consciousness through this molecule. Thank you.
I would like to invent a product that would be so useful to people that it would provide an income of, let's say, $400,000 a year. I was wondering if I could get some assistance from an entity to do that.
And what assistance do you need for creating?
Well, the idea, or to start something. I don't want
Yes.
to have my Christmas presents opened for me, but I need to get going somehow.
Yes, we understand this concept. Many entities in their own belief systems, such as Treb Bor Yit NE, would not hand you this golden goose as you would think. But if you are willing to look within yourself, understand that with co-creation from another entity, that you may co-create an experience in which intuition and ideals will come into your consciousness and into your conscious train of thought, then you may allow yourself to search your oversoul in order to do so. In your own mindset, you must think of this concept, therefore it is very tough or very difficult. But what we can tell you is once you understand that you are smart enough, that you are capable enough, and that your energy may provide the answer before all others, then you will not need an entity to assist you. Continue understanding your own capabilities, and if your true desire is to co-create with another entity, then all you must do is bring forth this entity. There are many entities that exchange technology for different variances or different concepts of earth energy. For instance, your entities that your perception is ancient reptilian entities have given low technology to humans at the beginning in order for them to create fear amongst the collective consciousness, which in turn gives them food in order to survive in their broken incarnation cycle. And once this cycle continued, the fair exchange in both parties' minds were very exciting. You may change an energy with another entity to provide something that is beneficial to you and others alike, but you must see what energy of yours you are willing to give away to co-create, and that is what co-creations are. When you are looking upon the larger scale, all entities may create anything that they desire within their own rights, within their own consciousness. In the moment that you decide you must take on another's energy in order to co-create, you have given away a portion of yours. When you see this in a more full concept, Then you will have your decision if it is still something that you desire to co-create. And then all you must do is use your terms to connect in a meditative state or sleep state as you must desire. All entities are ready and willing to connect to you. You must open the door of invitation first. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Don?
My question concerns continuity of consciousness and fear associated with losing that. There are times when I hate to go to sleep at night because it's this, sometimes the dreams, getting lost in dreams, sometimes bad dreams. Other times, I have past life memories and other associations, and for me, I guess it seems feeling like almost having Alzheimer's, because I remember part of a life but not the rest of it. As I get older, I'll forget what was in a program or a movie, but I guess the big thing is this feeling of a truncated, staccato kind of consciousness that is on sometimes and remembering and other times off. And it gives me great distress to have this kind of staccato, on and off, breaks in consciousness. I don't know if that's part of the goal that we're supposed to be sharing, is this continuity of consciousness across space and time, such as they are. But maybe you could address this distress, because I don't think I'm alone in it.
Yes, first of all, when you are seeing this on and off again conscious upgrade, or off and on again conscious awareness, are you seeing a belief of your own that links you to this?
It's just the experienced realization that, sometimes I'm awake and then I go to sleep and I disappear and then I come back, or I meditate and I go into this state and my sense of self disappears, and then, it seems like 5 minutes later, but maybe it's an hour or 2 hours later and I'm back again. And, and then there's this sense of past lives, and I know just enough about a previous life to have an understanding of how it's affecting me now, but no real detail. And this feeling of being broken up makes me feel like my existence is less altogether, because of all this broken. I'm only aware of parts of myself and not the whole.
Yes. What we can tell you with this is, when you are looking at these concepts, you are seeing something that is not whole, but the experience in itself is what is whole. You are not perceiving the experience to be the experience. Let us tell you, for example, when you are walking upon the street, you are seeing many things at once. But when you are running down the street, you are seeing much less. And when you are doing this, there is a creation of understanding what and where your desired attention must be upon. When you are taking your attention, you are placing it on certain things. In your mind, you have no conscious control of where your concentration is going to be. But if your desire is to concentrate more upon the things that your desire is, it is not the continuity of consciousness that is at fault in this situation. What it is the human condition allows consciousness to be scattered amongst things that they do not prefer. When you are experiencing things you do not prefer, you are placing a great amount of energy within them. You are placing frustration, anger, hatred, or even happiness when it comes to seeing someone who has wronged you fail. And when you are experiencing, placing your energy into all the things that your preference does not connect to, then what you are doing is creating more so of the scattering to exist within your own manifestational capability. So what we can tell you is, of all of these things that preference does not connect to you, try to disassociate yourself with and concentrate your own consciousness upon the things that it does. And we understand that this in your daily existence will be helpful, but when you are doing this and living a full vibration of happiness, a full vibrational quality that is lined with your own specific excitements, it will allow openings of doors. It allows the door to open to the experiences that you do not believe are possible to acquire. For instance, your perception of previous incarnations, that have affected you in different ways. Your desire is to know more. When you begin to live your life in a full vibration of excitedness or happiness, those doors will open. There will be a reason to see them. But the funny thing is that when you are looking into your previous incarnation, in your daily existence, is that of happiness and belief, then what you are now facing is a previous life that is no longer there. That life that disconnected you, that life that made you feel as if you are not connected in each moment, will no longer be there to perceive. Because you've changed your vibrational wholly, there is nothing in your past or previous incarnations that can connect to your energy of disappointment or anger or frustration. So then you will not need to see those incarnations, because there is nothing there to connect to make your incarnation difficult. This makes sense to you.
It does. I think it'll take a while to sink in. I guess I want reassurance that from some perspective and level, it'll all come together. Kind of, like remembering a dream suddenly when I doze off after eating lunch in the afternoon, Suddenly there's, even though I don't remember it all, it's all there, and it'll all come back. I intuitively have a sense that it's there, but it distresses me when I can't access it.
Yes, and we understand this. But the only reason that most of you are not accessing certain portions of your consciousness in which you desire is because there is a fear or frustration that you cannot. And this alone puts up the greatest wall. There are many sub-walls or smaller hills that you must pass over and climb in order to achieve the seeing of all things that you're desiring, but the main wall lies in the thought of how difficult it will be. There has been a connection with all of you in these previous days in which shows you your willingness and desire to expand your heart, your mind, your consciousness, all three above. And when you are focused upon the physical attributes, when you focus upon the limitation of your consciousness and the attributes of this, these are the things that will be perceived by you more wholly. When you eliminate your conscious thought upon these things, it will dissipate, and all things that once you thought were important no longer matter to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for the opportunity. The other night, Aridif, we had a little talk, and I spoke about my desire to learn about my past life and building the pyramids. And you shared with me that some of this knowledge is being sort of 50-50 pulled away, where your collective wants to share, but there's something there that's resisting because it could be life-changing for me, it could change the course of my life. I do have a very excited, I get very excited with electromagnetic devices. They excite me. I would like to know this knowledge. I would like it to come. You had mentioned if I go into my pyramid, it will come. I would like to remove that resistance so this information can flow and download. And when it comes, I would like to be able to have the essence of the knowing and not be challenged to understand it. I'd like to know if I'm going to reach a point where I can understand this technology. And I'm speaking of the technology that I use to build the pyramids and move land.
Yes, we understand this concept, and we understand your appreciation to understand the technology more wholly with the electromagnetic energy mixing with sound vibrations, and how to utilize and how to harness this energy. What we can tell you most directly, that if your desire is to connect into that energy, then first you must not perceive yourself as lacking that knowledge. You'll perceive yourself as not understanding or knowing, something being hidden from you. We understand that it is difficult for the human mind, the human heart, the human consciousness to integrate to a point in which it can express to itself that I am whole, I have seen all things, I know all things, I will wait for this knowledge to come into the awareness in the moment that I desire or need it the most. This type of trust for your universe does not exist on most of the collective consciousness. But when you're desiring to understand this knowledge at a more deep level, all you must do is integrate your understanding that the knowledge is with you. We understand that you are trying to pull away resistance within yourself to try to connect your own self to the knowledge more directly and specifically. But we assure you that your continuance on knowing the certain steps in your own process of evolution and focusing upon your excitement to build this is what will help you eventually connect to all things that desire within this technology.
There is a device out there, it's a field transmitter. There's a wand that was created by a gentleman that cracked the codes of pyramids. And this technology is available. Is this sort of the same thing that I'm looking at this device? I'm looking at it as a healing device. It can be used to spin chakras, clear the DNA, and I wanted to know if I'm along the same lines of this knowledge, of ancient knowledge that I have, I can incorporate. Is this the same field energy that comes from this transmitter wand, from this gentleman?
Yes, this is in the direction of what you are looking for, but it is not the same. It is not using electromagnetic energy in the same fashion with sound as your desired effects will be. The desired effects of this entity's technology that he has co-created with his higher self is not in the same area in which your desire comes from. Yes, your desire is to heal, but if you are looking to mimic your previous incarnation, then the effect that you should desire would be zero gravity. Zero gravity would be the effect of how your communication of sound mixing with electromagnetic energy came to be. If your desire is to heal, then looking into this technology can be useful. It will guide you or be your guidance to a larger portion of discoveries within you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Ade.
Yes, greetings.
Thank you. Why I have fickle mind? Sometimes it bothers me a lot. It becomes very difficult for me to decide one thing. I want it and I don't want it at the same time, and I get frustrated. So what is the reason of having this fickle mind? What it tells me and where it comes from?
Yes, what it tells you is that you cannot make up your mind, but what it is a pulling from one consciousness and the other. There are many energies within each and every one of you. There is the feminine energy, the masculine energy, the positive energy in the perception or definition of humans, the negative energy, the type 1, the type 2, and we can continue this list forever. So what we will tell you is that within yourself, these two energies are pulling upon yourself. Your continued frustration about both of the sides of the energy is what continuing you to create the same situation over and over. What we can tell you is if your desire is to truly pull to one side or the next, we would not highly suggest this. We highly suggest that instead of fighting the energies within yourself, find which one tends to feel more correct. Right now, you're processing your emotional complex and your logical complex. Both of these are such different energies in you, and then your masculine, feminine energy fight will also come into play. Your desire to nurture and to help others is very deep within your own consciousness. What you can do is try to nurture yourself by finding what of the two answers is most fitting for the overall energy of myself. Not just the portion of me that likes this or the portion of me that needs this. It is the portion of yourself that your true essence lies within. And we understand confusion is a great part of separating yourself from Creator Source. It gives you the illusion that you cannot find what you are or who you are. When you are digging more deeply within yourself, using meditative and breathing tools, you will find that this tug-of-war game that you have started, you are pulling upon both sides. You can always win by letting go of the rope. And we thank you.
It's difficult to understand. It's like a little complicated. I mean, I'm not able to wrap my head around it. Like, I understand that part. That yes, I mean, I resonate with it. Yes, I have the feminine and masculine, and I want to do things for others and for me. That's why that's what I could. Understand that my compassion in my heart, that's why I change my mind for others. But so you're telling me that I need to do more meditation for the clarity of my mind?
This can be one tool, yes, but your first start of the sentence in this secondary interaction is that within your own self you are seeing that you are indecisive about your answer. We are not clarifying that you are connecting to indecision, but what we are clarifying is your words struggle to find the answer, or we are not sure if the words were struggle to find or struggle to find.
Hesitate?
Perhaps this is the word, yes, but what it represents is when you are looking into yourself, when you are placing an indecisive energy within yourself, you are pulling back indecision as well. You are repeating the cycle and loop of energy within yourself. Your mind struggles with the concept. That was the words that you were expressing. And this is one of the faults of the energy. Your mind in itself has very small places of what your heart understands, of what your heart knows. And when you are having this two-way struggle, you will always continue to have a struggle. The mindset works in fashions of certain energies. We are trying to reconvene this energy. Yes, realignment of the energy shows us that when you are looking specifically at your logical mind, that this is pulling away from your heart's desire. And in your heart-mind struggle, your mind will win when you decide to let the energy of what-ifs or hows continue to press over you. It is not a loss if your mind wins. It is not a loss if your heart wins. They are both energies within themselves. They are both energies that have the right to exist within you. It is up to you, through meditation tools or others, to decide which your essence is in that moment. You may be both emotional and mental in your existence, in all days of your incarnations, but in this moment, what is your decision? Shall I be of the logical mindset? Shall I be of the heart? Shall I be of your masculine or feminine? And release, letting go, not holding on to what the answer perhaps could be. This is the greatest part of you that can release yourself.
So what I started doing is I started surrendering myself to my higher self, and I say I connect to my higher self and I let it be whatever it comes from there. So am I on the right path?
Yes, this can be one right path, but it is also a right path to express to yourself, I do not care why I'm struggling and I will continue to struggle. This is also the right path. We do believe that what you are trying to do and your newfound way of looking or perceiving this is going to help you. But in each moment, your perception of what is going on will change. Your way to look at this will always change. Your energy is one that waits for a new perception or a new angle to look upon things at all periods. Therefore, the answer I can give you in this day will not be the same one that I will give you in the next year, nor the next month. Whatever way you decide to approach these concepts, you will approach them differently, because your perception is that when you approach them one way, whether it works or not, it would be quite interesting to see another angle. So in your interest to perceive things upon many levels, have fun with the perceptions. This will give you more relaxation than worry.
I need to understand that, what you said. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Aaron, not Andrew, but Aaron.
Thank you.
Hello, Aridif.
Yes, good evening.
When we was all having a group meditation yesterday. I mean, the energy was fantastic, what I felt with everyone. And when I was, the longer I was going on, the more my body started jerking, like something just wanted to burst out of me. Is this to do with channeling? Because I see it in other people that channel. So, and if so, is there anything? Is what I'm doing enough, or is there other things I could do to increase this probability?
Yes, what we can tell you is that in that energy, in the sensations of the energetic burst within you, within your own energetic movements of the physical body, within the feeling of the consciousness beginning to lift and begin to spew out of your own physical body, what this is your alignment with a new energy. Your consciousness has expanded far enough to touch entities, all sorts of directions and all sorts of links from you. So as you are connecting to your own consciousness in your own self, you have expanded enough to co-create with another entity. Your essence or your definition of what channeling is, you may perceive very soon in your own experience. What we can tell you to help yourself align more with yourself in order to co-create a channeled experience for yourself is continue to do what you are doing. Your excitement has led you to this precipice. Now watch the fun of it unfold with your excitements. If you have anxiety, if you have a reservation over what will happen next, this will impede your ability to move forward. Continue to live within your own excitement, continue to use the energy, perhaps use the technique of meditation that is most fitting for you, and you will find greater excitement in the prospects of channeling. Thank you.
Could you actually tell me, is there more than one entity trying to channel through me, or is there just a one main one at the moment to begin with?
Yes, there are three entities that are willing to connect you. They were not trying to channel in that moment. There is still a hesitation and resistance within yourself. What the essence of channeling truly is when you are connecting, it allows a bridge of energy to merge your own consciousness with this entity. Your energy is touching three different entities in this moment, but as your resistance within you is being removed, it gives the opportunity for consciousness of them to flow through the cracks of where you are letting go of resistance. This is what will give you the ultimate ability to channel. All three of these entities in consciousness which are connected to you, you have already been made aware of through conscious and non-conscious concepts. Your subconscious has brought forward to you many designs, many energies, many feelings and emotional energies that will lay with you and help you connect to these energies more deeply. The conscious concepts have brought you forward pictures or energies that will allow you to use those as your motivation to move forward in your connection.
Would you be able to tell me where this resistance and hesitation is so I can actually work on that, please?
Yes, within your hesitation there are portions of yourself that are not sure if you are good enough to do what it is that your desire is to do. There are portions of yourself that express, if I am able to channel, what if the information comes out incorrectly? If I am able to channel, what if no one believes me? If I am able to channel and live in my excitement, what if I am not able to do it in the way that I desire to make the most effect in my incarnation and others around me? This is the residual resistance that is left. It is within the majority of all humans within this planet whose interest is to channel. This same resistance is what has caused many lack of connections from one entity to the next, or a filter upon the information that is coming through for many other channelers.
And what if I say I choose to let go of this right now? I do choose to let go of this right now.
Yes, then let go of this and continue to channel it.
So by just saying that right now and feeling it with all my heart like I do, I'm let going.
Yes, you're letting go of resistance as we are speaking.
Okay, thank you.
Continue to look into your beliefs, continue to find your subconscious hang-ups. This is where the greatest resistance release will be done. You are making the first step by releasing.
Thank you, Aridif. Love and gratitude. Thank
Yes, you are loved.
you. Thank you.
Deborah, I know you've been waiting a while.
Hi, Aridif.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. Treb Bor Yit NE told me that I had 3 hybrid children that were fully 50% of my DNA. And I'm wondering if you could tell me anything about those entities, like what dimension they exist in, and how they are aware of me, and any information that you can tap into. I would really appreciate that.
Yes, what we can tell you most directly in this moment is that in 2 of the children, they are 5th density, 1 of them is 6. The vibrational quality of their parenting race, or their mother race, if you will, are connecting from your oversoul to yourself. There are energies in 1 of the children, the one that comes from the 6th density, that is most deeply connected to your previous incarnations. This entity is having the mother race that is connected to your physical body in previous incarnations. So what we are saying, perhaps more simply, is that 1 of your previous incarnations, you ran into a race. That race is the one that is responsible for co-creating your hybrid child. This entity is the one that is most deeply connected with you in all portions of the day. These entities, the other 2 that reside within 5th density, are still with you continuously, but are not as accessible in this moment.
Is it the daughter that's the 6th entity, or one of the sons?
1 of the masculine energies. We would not say they are son or daughters. We are not sure of the physical nature or sex of their makeup, but they are definitely masculine and feminine energies. And the one that is the most connected is that of the male energy.
And do you think it would be possible, I don't know if you can tell this, if that entity would be able to speak to me one day through Treb?
Perhaps, if your excitement is enough and the entity is willing to co-create, we perceive that it is very possible.
Thank you.
Yes.
Reuben,
Let me just
get in the frame.
get in the frame. Aridif, please be patient. Thank you.
Yes. We have nothing but time.
So, hi Aridif. Thank you for taking this question.
Yes.
It's sort of a 2-part question, and it concerns 2 of the other questions that were asked earlier. In regard to this hallucinogenic DMT, dimethyltryptamine, many people have reported, as was mentioned before, seen other entities. One specific entity which has been reported often, which I have not seen, but I'm just repeating what others have seen, is the machine elves, an elf-like playful creature that uses a lot of cog technology. And I'm wondering, you mentioned the 5th dimension, it's possible 5th dimension, but I'm wondering if you could tell us more about these elves, these machine elves. And I once on a psilocybin journey with special mushrooms, I experienced the outskirts of, I believe, this realm. I was invited, but I chose not to go in. It's kind of a circus type energy, and I'm wondering if you could elaborate on those specific entities, if you have any knowledge.
Yes, first of all, we will address the cog elves. This energy is one that is co-created amongst many of you in the collective consciousness. When you are perceiving the entities that you call elves, they are connecting to one race that most of you would call fairies. Fairies and elves can be one of the same. When you are looking at fairy energy, this is several different races amalgamated into one energetic complex. When you are looking at elves, these are also many different entities into one amalgamation of connection of consciousness. So when you are experiencing the specific cog elves, What you are doing is connecting to one portion that many believe is one small part of the fairy collective consciousness and one in the elven consciousness, who are one and the same. These entities are dealing with mechanisms of technology that are very simple in the cog connection. The cogs that you see, that you use in your own technology, are being responsible from being channeled by other energies that are relating to these people's technology. In this elven technology, they are able to make simple as well as complex connections to humans through the DMT journey. In this fifth density consciousness, as they are connecting to humans, they are not inhabiting your planet. They are not living upon Earth. They are connecting to entities who are perceiving them and desiring to perceive them, as they are connecting through this one simple drug, or entheogen. I know that drug gives a negative connotation. We do not wish to do this. But this entheogen gives the energetic link from this race to your people. This is why you continuously see these entities. The second concept we are not aware of. We do not connect any energy from the collective consciousness to this.
Second concept, I guess I'm not understanding.
You are expressing that in your second portion of the question,
Yes.
that you were journeying and were invited in to attend.
Kind of. It seemed like a circus. What my perception in the moment was, that was maybe the elven fairy world, and they were inviting me in. However, I chose to experience a different experience in the moment because I had a different intention.
Yes, and we are not able to draw from what this could have been. We are able to draw what your energy was in that moment and your decision to not connect to this energy.
I understand. And to continue with that, during these permission slip journeys that the mushrooms provide us, me specifically, I have been able to tune into different realms, and similar to Aaron with the channeling experience, I too have felt that I've channeled some energies, and was wondering if you could, as you helped Aaron, could help me in making a better idea or connection or understanding of what those energies might be.
Yes, so you are wondering not only what the energy is, but how better to connect with it. Is this correct?
Correct, yes.
Yes, what we are perceiving from your own energy, that within the energy that you would call fairy, there are small connections. You understand this? This is something that you are already aware of. There are also Pleaidian energies that continuously are touching you, but in a smaller way. You have already understood this. The Arcturian, same. The Syrian, same. The reptilian energy has touch also, but it is one that you have not explored to a great degree. There are portions of yourself, yes, that have put conscious thought and effort to this, but there has not been a conscious concept in how deeply they connect you. There are many reptilian energies that are connecting to you very frequently, and in your state of connection, your deep feeling of connection, the one in which you feel you are receiving information, or perhaps even secondarily receiving downloads, much of this comes from what your perception would be a reptilian counterpart. It is not truly a counterpart in any way, shape, or form. It is another version of yourself, one that is much to yourself as Treb Bor Yit NE is to Rob, one that is connecting from your oversoul in a probability of being a future incarnation. This entity is very deeply connected to you, and in your sleep state there is often dreams of wilderness. This entity appears in the wilderness as small insects. It does not represent itself in a reptilian format. It represents itself as an insect because it wishes to be unnoticed. It wishes to be not seen, but present. In that energy, there comes a great blanket or a veil that lies between the two of you. To open this energy more so, you must be willing to look into your deepest portions of your reptilian consciousness. not pursuing the dark portions of consciousness, not pursuing what your perceptions are of perhaps malevolent energies within you. But as you're already aware, not all things come in one shape or size, and all reptilians are not evil. This will be your best bet within connecting more deeply. Thank you.
Thank you.
I am really fascinated with my past life history, and I'm searching for an answer here. I was at an event, it was a Galactic event, and a woman approached me. She's considered to be a contact, and she's with Off-World. So she was a pretty strong person that approached me, and she told me that we lived in Egypt together in the Temple of Isis, and we were goddesses together. And so I've also been told that from other people that did past lives with me that they saw me in robes with jewels and precious stones that I worked with, and I have such a fascination for the precious stones and the crystals, and I just wondered if that's really true, or did I have any sort of past life connection in that temple? And if so, what was my job, or what did I do?
Yes, let us answer this the most simple way that we are able to. It is correct and it is also incorrect. Her perception of what your previous incarnation was is the one that she is most directly and energetically linked to in this moment. But the one that you are connected to in this moment is not the same incarnation. Most of you perceive that past lives are past lives, that they are something that are finite, something that can be tangible, something that can be within reach if you were to be able to traverse time. But what we are telling you is past lives have nothing to do with past or future. It has nothing to do with one set thing that is now causing things within your incarnation. What it truly is an energy of presence, of probabilities that you are linking to that moment. There are 1 trillion probable past of yourself in one area at one point. They are literally infinite, but we are trying to make an example for you. And in these 1 trillion, all of them but 5 are placing you in an advantageous example. One where you are in advantage of all things around you, and ones that you are above where you believe that you could be in the past. Now all of them but 5 are very negative. All of them but the 5 are very bad for you. So when you are in your energy, in the now of a negative perception, you can link to all of the other ones that are negative. But when your perception and thoughts similar to those that are being played out in to 5 of the trillion that are positive, any attribute, whether it is thought or consciousness, it will reconnect you to those incarnations. But the probabilities are endless. We've expressed concepts and shared with many entities what twin soul is. And what twin soul is a mitosis version of your oversoul. It is an oversoul that has divided itself in the mitosis state in order to give all probabilities to any one given entity within an oversoul. If you yourself, as the fractal that you understand yourself to be, desire to make a change in your incarnation, it would come from your twin soul. The twin soul carries an exact copy, fractal consciousness, of you within itself. But within this energy's prowess, instead of going through the day-to-day, making decisions and changing, its only function is to change your own vibration into whatever probability that you desire next. Your past lives, your future incarnations, are connected to you in the same way. Through your own twin soul, your past and present and future are swapped out. And the way it swaps out is very dependent on your own decisions, your own vibration in each moment. If you decide that you desire to have nothing more but giving away money to all people so that they may eat, this will change in your twin soul. But when you desire to take all the food back, then this probability will be shifted because of your conscious thought. It will be changed because of your conscious decision. It will change because your vibration of being one who feeds instead of one who takes food will dictate the change within the twin soul. Therefore, all of your previous incarnations that have anything to do with feeding others or taking food away will be prominent only in that moment. But when you jump to another subject altogether, those lives will not even be present because of your twin soul's desire to connect or not to connect to an energy that is previous or past. So when you are asking the questions of yourself being in the same previous incarnation, the answer is as simple as yes and no. This is the simplest way that we can convey this concept.
So really this fascination I have with my past life, it really doesn't really benefit me much at all. Just to know I should leave that alone and just continue manifesting and co-creating where I'm at and work with the energies. I just got my answer there. So, and I just, for everybody in the room, the last time we had a session about a week or so ago, I had asked you about opening up my third eye so I could see more.
Yes.
And you spoke of an upside down pyramid, and I didn't quite understand what that was. Maybe maybe you could share with everyone. So.
Yes, first of all, let us connect your concept. What we are saying is it is not beneficial to look into your past incarnations. If there is an excitement there, then it is highly beneficial. When you are connecting to a previous incarnation that gives you insight about who and what you are, in this day, it can be beneficial. It can also be beneficial if you are excited to explore that concept. So we are not saying that it does not matter, that you should disconnect from it. What we are saying is that there are so many probabilities of what you can and could be, and there are so many probabilities of what once you were and what you are achieving to be, that literally a decision in any moment can dictate your pace to or from there. And when you are connecting to yet another entity's energy and looking forward into their energy, the probabilities again become staggering. A two-person co-creative energy looking backwards into previous incarnations can be very difficult to align. If your desire is to align them, then by all means explore this process as thoroughly as need be. Now, what we are saying about the upside down triangle, this is an energy that manifests third eye consciousness into the integrated higher self. This is a symbol that Treb Bor Yit NE has given many entities. We are given many techniques to give to each entity in their own purpose, in their own time. The time period from what once we spoke till this now is a different portion, but you may use it in a similar way. One moment, we must hydrate the throat. It's becoming hoarse. Thank you. If your desire directly is to use an energy that will incorporate this vertical or inverted triangle into your subconscious to help your third eye, we may give you a technique that can be more useful to you. As you have connected to this larger group, your energy has changed. As you have connected to your own heart's understanding of all the desires within you in these previous 3 days, your energy has changed. So let us give you, as well as this group, a collective exercise that will be of the greatest benefit. If your desire is to connect your third eye, we would request that all of you close your eyes within this moment. Looking upon yourself, you understand directly where your third eye should be. in your third eye, you can place a concept of an indigo inverted triangle upon your third eye. Place this energy upon there. Now in this inverted triangle or upside down triangle, let the edges of the triangle become the color of indigo. The outer edge, the inner edge may be blue. Now place a triangle within this triangle, inverted yet again, and make this of a violet nature. While you are experiencing this triangle visualization, place your own hand or finger into your third eye and move it in a counterclockwise manner. Perceive these two inverted triangles upon your head. Now place your last and third inverted triangle using the base of your skull, or not the base, the back basin of your skull, to be your place of entry. And when both points of the triangle come downwards, they will ascend or descend upon your third eye. So place this third triangle within this area. Make this triangle a color of white. Continue moving your finger upon your third eye in a counterclockwise manner. This visualization technique can help all of you as a group to open your third eye more directly. In your co-creative consciousness, you have agreed to work for one purpose, that is to understand yourself to a higher degree, to evolve your thought process and heart. You have made this conscious decision. You are co-creating it now. Let this be your collective mantra in your mind to help access your third eye more directly, and it shall be. Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody wants to ask a question that hasn't asked before? Nobody? None of you guys back there? Okay. You had and then I'll be next.
I was very impressed with the response to Aaron. So I would like to ask about the specifics about the types of entities that are more connected to me, and whether or not I have some entities that are ready and waiting to trans-channel through me.
Yes, there are many entities that are connected to you. There are many entities that are connected to all of you. Let us start first by saying that each and every one of you have a great gamut of energies and entities that are willing to co-create with you. Many of these are your energy guides or spirit guides, but in yours specifically, there are many energies that line up to connect you. Right now, there is an opportunity for you to channel your higher self. There is an opportunity for yourself to channel a portion of your service guides or your spirit guides. When you are connecting to your spirit guide energy, the one that is helping you with your emotional connections from your third eye, crown, and throat chakra is an entity who is representing themselves to be an old Native American energy, one that is predating the understanding of the perhaps Eastern civilizations knowing of Native American energies. This entity is representing itself that way because in this entity's previous incarnation, it desired to be connected to that one energy more so than others. That when that entity incarnated as the ancient Native American, it was at its happiest incarnation. So when you are connecting to this guide within yourself, understand the energy that he is representing to you. Understand the energy that you are understanding of the vibration of this entity completely. And when you are able to fit that vibrational frequency through your own physical chakras of the physical body, then you will be able to experience a more direct connection. Now, if you are looking into your energy of extraterrestrial entities, this is something that many of you are excited of. There are two entities that are connecting to you. The one that we see you have less resistance with is an entity that is Pleaidian by nature, but it is not the human Pleaidian that you all perceive and continuously study upon this planet. It is one that is of perhaps the feline hybrid with insectoid energy. This entity is very deeply connected to your own heart and to your own third eye energy. If you are willing to co-create with this entity, place forward an intent. It is very easy to find when you are looking in the sky, finding the Pleaidian region and looking upon the star that your perception is Tigrid or Tirgat. We are not sure how to pronounce these concepts. We have only seen them in writing through Rob's mind. Find that star and you will find your energy of the feline insectoid hybrid entity. Thank you.
Could I, as a follow-up, you mentioned feline. Do my cats play a role, and should I go to Sedona again to help connect with my Native American guide?
Yes, all of the things count. All of the things are connected. Your entities that your perceptions are of cats or felines or Felis domesticus or simple house cat, whichever means that you desire to call these, or whichever specific relationship is to either of these entities. When you are connecting to them more directly, what you are perceiving is the overall experience of what Sedona feels. When you are connecting to these energies, the feline entities, this gives you way to Sedona. Sedona is one of your areas that connect you more directly to this entity, and if your excitement to go to Sedona is there, the concept of the feline entities as well as your connection to your feline insectoid hybrid will make itself well understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Aridif. Thank you so much for all the gifts you're giving us this weekend.
Yes, and thank you for giving us your own self in vibration in which we are able to learn a great deal. Thank you.
I was wondering if you could give us some techniques for healing ourselves, especially when the body is in dis-ease.
Yes, there are many techniques to use in this specific arena. When you are looking, there are already connections that humans have made to handing outward techniques that will help. One that is very effective is by projecting consciousness within your own self and seeing yourself from a deeper portion. What we mean by this is we are not only looking into the physical body of yourself, we are also looking at the essence, the soul essence, when you are doing this visualization. When there is a portion of your body that has become injured, look into this. We are telescoping outward or inward from an outward position. You are looking, for example, if it is your elbow, you are looking upon your elbow, you are zooming in. And in all of the periods of visualizations, you must paint all of the things in your visualizations purple. So now you will be looking upon your purple elbow. Look upon the elbow, zooming in past your dermis, past your muscular system, past your lymph, past your bones, into the very essence of what you are. You must zoom down past the subatomic particles into the essence of yourself, and when you are able to do this while painted purple, it will help assist your healing to that portion of your physical body quite well.
Aridif, can you please bring Treb?
Yes, one moment. Good evening, Savita.
I love you, Treb.
Yes, and I love you as well.
Treb, tell me what my rashes, this vitiligo on my face tells me. Is it the message is same for me and other people, or it's specifically something for me only?
In this concept, we are not understanding what specific area you are speaking of.
Okay. I have this vitiligo on my face, these patches, different
Yes!
colors. Okay. So what this discoloration, what is the message? Why I have this vitiligo? What these things tells me? So the message, why I have that, is it the same? Okay, answer that first, then I'll ask the second one.
Yes! First of all, when you are looking into your own self, when all of you are looking into your physical body, there is often perceptions of imperfections, often perceptions of medical conditions that you are experiencing. But when you are truly looking at yourself and judging certain portions that you believe are affected as ugly or unusable or unlookable, then you are placing an energy that is making more of a medical concept. It is going into your skin and into your muscle and tissue and into your specific portions of DNA. And as you are doing this, you are projecting more negativity into the physical body. But when you are able to experience something, such as perhaps a certain splotch of discoloration on your skin, or even a rash, when you are perceiving this as a portion of yourself that you are willing and open to accept, it will not affect you as greatly. If you are looking at what specifically it is, what the meaning of this is, or what the metaphysical concepts of this is there are many perceptions from humans about what it is to look perfect, what it is to be beautiful, what it is to be handsome or acceptable by society's nature. And although you do not mean to focus upon this concept, although you do not mean to give it any energy or any power, many of you are doing this on a subconscious level every day. And what you are doing specifically, Savita, is as you have grown within your own consciousness, as you have grown from a child, you have tried to push away all of the concepts of what it is to be beautiful and feminine in one energy. You have tried to push away others' judgments upon you, but it is still not able to be pushed away completely. There are still concepts in which you believe that beauty comes from a physical nature and that must be represented in a certain way. And when you are nervous about not being acceptable, when you are nervous about not being accepted by others, this adds to that specific area.
So this is for me. What about other people? Is that the reason for other people also?
Yes, it can be, and it might not be within certain entities, but when it comes to conditions of the skin, when it comes to conditions of perhaps directly under the skin, we are believing that this is called the lymph node system. This can be very directly connected to the concept of looks, a perception of oneself that desires to look more than what they believe they are capable of, gives them that longing which triggers this. And in that concept, the majority of entities who are dealing with that affected regions are dealing with it for this reason alone.
I heard, I think you told or somebody that sometimes it comes from your past life also.
Yes! It can also come from this. When you are connecting to a concept, as we believe Aridif is speaking of directly, when you are connecting to your past incarnation or your future incarnations, you are linking your energy quite directly to them. And when you are linking your energy to that incarnation, it may give you energy, it may lend you energy. The host was aware of an entity in which was a past life regressionist, and this entity was able to connect very deeply and to connect very strongly. And when the strongness of the energy of the connection was made, when this entity began to comply and feel as if it was directly connected to this previous incarnation, What was happening is this entity would there bring physical attributes of the past incarnations into this incarnation. So what this entity was doing in one incarnation was being crucified, and in this incarnation was beginning to feel pains in this portion of her palm. And this is brought forward because she is so well linked to her previous incarnations, and because she is connected to that emotional perception. But many of you are not able to perceive your past incarnations in a great detail. What you are able to do is look inside of your own consciousness and find little hints and clues, or be able to feel a specific emotion. And when your emotion connects from that energy into your past incarnation, that is what makes the link of the connections of life be solid. And the more solid that the connections are from previous incarnation to what your perception is, the now incarnation, it brings forward an energy to both of these. So when you are upset and angry, and you are connecting to an incarnation that is upset and angry, and one of you brightens up your day with a smile, if other variances of each incarnation are still similar enough, it will help bring a smile to the second incarnation. And this is what we mean by bringing forward things from one incarnation to the next. And if you are able to experience something of this nature, it very well can be connected to your previous incarnation.
So everything boils down to self-love and self-acceptation. Acceptation.
Yes, it always connects to your perception of oneself. If you are able to love yourself to the highest degree and the fullest degree, all other concepts are not relevant. Because if you love your own self to the greatest degree, you will never connect to another who is not able to love you, or who is not worthy of getting your love or receiving your love. You will never bump up into ones who are perhaps resistance against the energy of love that you wish to share with them. None of this will happen if you truly and 100% unconditionally love yourself. Because if you're loving yourself to this high degree, you will never be able to create or manifest an energy of imbalance within yourself.
Thank you, Treb. I have another question which is going to be very lengthy. If somebody else...
I'd like to touch on the vitiligo thing. My son's...
When everybody is done, then I
I'm
will
curious
like
to know what he has to say
Okay,
about that.
so my question is this, and it's sort of superficial, but it's not. Okay, so oftentimes women will make jokes about how their mirrors at home are their friends, and they look in the mirror at home and they get themselves ready and they look really good. And then they're out and about in the world and they see themselves in the rear view mirror, or they're looking at themselves in a reflection, and it's like, who is that person? Because that is not me. So my question really has to do with, so I mean, I know we're creating this reality, so is it a different reality that I'm creating with my mirror than what I am when I'm out in the world?
Yes, it is exactly what your perception is. When you are creating that energy with your mirror at home, it is one that is vibrationally comfortable to you. It is one that you have expected to give you the great results that you desire. But when you are out in public around people, the nervousness about not looking the way that once you did inside of your mirror begins to agitate your energy, begins to co-create another concept. And as you begin to embrace and embark upon all of your worries, this will give you the bad version of the mirror.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yes, you are very welcome.
I know Aaron was waiting for a while.
Hello, Treb. It's good to talk to you again.
Yes, it is very good to speak to you again as well.
If I choose to ascend with my physical body in this lifetime, what do I have to do?
Yes, if you are speaking of ascending in the concept of fourth density, let us express to you a very great surprise. You are already here. If you are looking at the concept of ascending past fourth density, We understand the eagerness. Although you have already made such a great feat by going from third to fourth, we understand an excitement to go further. But in the concept of evolution of your own self, evolution of your soul, there is a direct connection that must be made. You must be able, in order to pass the fourth density, be able to master the concepts of this unconditional love. And once you are able to do this, then you can ascend again. It is the concept that in ascension, many entities believe that there must be a very great high voltage energy, that your physical bodies will do spectacular things, and you will fly, and you will be within the sunshine. And all of this can be true, but what we are saying, your physical bodies are already in that state. It is your perception that won't allow you to perceive it in that way. Once you build your perception upwards, once you let go of resistance within yourself, once you achieve the concept of setting your mind into a 100% unadulterated belief that you are connected to the fourth density, then you will be able to have your fun.
So how do I, because before you said something about me, like my mind was in fourth density, but my body wasn't there. How do I get my body to get into it?
Yes, what we mean by your body was in third density is that it was within a third density vibration. What you are perceiving with your physical body is not what you are truly in consciousness when you are looking at yourself. In third density, all of you were 8-ounce glasses, and the consciousness was the conduit of water. And when you are pouring water, 8 ounces, into that glass, and it is full, then you are full conscious entity who is in the third density and has your full amount of consciousness available. But once you shifted into this fourth density, you gave yourself a 16-ounce container and only had 8 ounces of consciousness. You are adding more consciousness as you go. Once you fill your glass and know that your glass is full, you will be able to perceive the benefits of drinking said glass.
Yeah, Starbucks size cup now.
Yes!
So basically I'm already there then.
Yes! Existing within that belief will help you perceive it.
Okay, I believe that. I know it now.
Yes!
Thank you, Treb.
It's very exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you. Hi, Treb.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. I've had a couple of dreams where the entity you know as Vashta is with me, and we are with my hybrid children. And I'm wondering, do I have those dreams because we share the same interest, or is there some kind of soul connection there?
Yes, it is both of these. When you are connecting to the entity that you perceive as Vashta, or the entity that you know as Vashta, this entity is one that has been connected to you in previous incarnations, that is connected to you in this incarnation. But also when you look into your oversouls, you'll see that your oversouls are quite connected as well. Your oversouls are within a soul group, and that soul group contains all of you.
All of us here?
Yes!
Well, how fun.
All of you that have accompanied you in the dream state, all of you that Vashta and you have connected to, all of you that you have co-created while involving Vashta, every single entity that has a deep, profound impact upon your incarnation is not necessarily from your oversoul, but it can be and often is, and in this case is for sure is 100% connected to oversoul families. Groups of oversouls that are dear friends, just as this group within this room is a large group of entities sharing a common purpose, sharing an open heart and a wonderful energy, so is the concept of the oversouls.
Wonderful. And Aridif just told me that I have a hybrid son who is 6th density and who is the most connected to me. And I'm wondering if sometime, if you can feel that you could help me connect to that entity sometime? I'm not asking for today, but just, is it possible to connect?
Yes,
that
if you are
entity?
excited and if you are connecting to an energy, it is always able to be communicated. Some instances, it is not able to be connected to in a very quick and intelligible way. Sometimes it is not able to be communicated in a verbal manner, but we are using relays. For instance, if you are connecting to a being who is not able to connect to my energy, which then in turn connects to the host energy, then what is able to happen from this is this entity will project a concept to me, I will receive the concept, and then I will relay it to you directly. Either way, the communications, although it can be different in expressions, it is always the same when you are connecting from excitement in a larger portion of energy.
Thank you. And how is it that two of the children are 5th density and one is 6th density?
Yes, it is because within each of these entities, they are being connected with from different parental groups, ones who are responsible for the DNA portion of the other parent or the other so-called parent concept. So as they are extracting your own egg, they are connecting to either sperm or produced concepts of sperm. What is so magical about the human incarnation is that you are born into physical bodies that have multidimensional DNA. And when you are able to do this, your egg exists within the 3rd density, 4th density, 5th density, and 6th density. So they are able to take the energy from their 5th density selves and connect their sperm or their genetic connection into your 5th density egg, while the 6th density entity is able to do it as well. And this is not only your 6th density egg that we are speaking of, or your egg in general, but all of your body is multidimensional mini concepts.
Thank you.
Yes!
Hi, Treb. I'd like to ask you a question about my son. He also suffers from this vitiligo, where it's the pigment change on his eye, where his eyelashes are white. He's very self-conscious of it, where he's dyeing his eyelashes, trying to cover it up, and I don't see it once he does that, but he believes everyone can see it and there's something wrong with him. He's excited about his confidence, or crushed. He's excited because he just found a doctor out of India with some naturopathic medicines that might be able to help him. And so yesterday you had said that this could slow down the process and his excitement would help to slow that down, but there was something else there that was causing this issue. And so I know he struggles with his neurological system. He gets shakes, and sometimes he doesn't know where it's coming from, and his hands start shaking, or I don't know if it's his blood sugar. Is there something that you can you tune in to this and say, is there any hope for him with this medication? And can you maybe tell us what the blockage is for him, and is there hope for that to overcome it?
Yes, what I am able to share with you in this moment is that if I were able to feel the energy of a certain medicine, if I was able to feel the vibration of your son, being able to compare the vibration of one as it connects to another is possible, but without the connection or consent of your son in this moment, and without being in proximity to the medicine, I am not able to see if the compatibility is there. What I am able to see is that if I am looking in to your future incarnations and probabilities, if I am able to see the overall energy as it touches yours, I am able to see within a 42% accuracy that the probability of him getting healed with this specific treatment is less than 62%. But again, this is only a 42% probable accuracy. So we are not able to perceive in any given terms, but this is all that we are able to tell you about the possibility of it working.
Thank you.
Yes, you are very welcome. We will be disconnecting perhaps in approximately 5 to 7 minutes. So whenever the questions that are coming next come forward, whoever desires to have one, who has not been able to connect to a question before, may speak, and if not, whoever is chosen can be very excited.
And then the forest, Daisy and Harry have it.
Harry, you got a question?
Harry?
Yeah, I'd like to ask a question. Hi, Treb.
Yes!
Great to be here. Very grateful. I have a theory about the psychedelic mushroom and how its origins cannot be traced to this planet. And I feel that a lot of nature's secrets are held within the mushroom, and our species has very much to learn in terms of our climate problems, and with the honeybees, and with nuclear pollution and their ability to clean and transmute energy. Am I on the right path with that? Has that been sent by another race to help us?
Yes! Let us express first of all that in the concept of the mushroom itself, it has had roots within extraterrestrial origin, but it is not energetic energy that is connecting to that. It is not, it is not the physical energy that is connecting to the extraterrestrial. It is the energetic energy. When it first comes into existence upon your planet through natural evolution, it interacts with an entity, a group of healing races, and when they come down to explore your second density life, they are willing and excited to connect to this mushroom as it has a possibility of healing. And when they are perceiving it and when they are interacting with it, their energy co-creates with the energy of the mushroom itself, which caused it to evolve into a different type of mushroom. And when the new type of mushroom was spawned, it truly helped entities evolve. It truly helped your, in what your perception is, prehistoric man, or the primative entities, be able to perceive things in a much greater format. So this energy, yes, is very healing, yes, has extraterrestrial energy within it, but it was a portion of genetic modification, energetically speaking, but originates from the planet itself.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you are very welcome.
And Treb, do you have one more? I know Ruben, you had your hand up, right?
I did, and, okay, then.
You can be the last question for the night.
I will be the last question, and I'll just set my camera again here. Perfect.
Multitasking at its best.
Yes.
Treb knows all about that.
Hi, Treb. Thank you for speaking with us again today.
Yes, it is very exciting to do so as well.
Let me, well, I had a question, but another question of higher excitement came in, so I'm going to go with the higher excitement question, now that I have this opportunity to speak with you. Aridif spoke of, just earlier, of a connection to a reptilian, extraterrestrial reptilian entity, and since you are of such, I wish to ask you if you could help me in descriptions and possibly connecting with this energy, and just be a little more elaborate with this particular reptilian energy that would like to connect with me.
Yes! Before I connect this concept, I desire to understand that if your desire is there, perhaps connecting to your energy more directly would be of great assistance. So with your permission, I will connect your energy and look deeper into this.
You have my permission.
Yes! One moment. If you are able to close your physical eyes,
yes,
to push the energy from the center of your physical body to the outside of your physical body, and then continue pushing it outward with your intent for me to connect to your energy, and in one moment I will connect to this.
I will do that.
One moment, please. perceive within your own consciousness this connection that is reptilian in nature, that is very strong. There are a race of entities from the Pisces constellation, one that is within the leg area, or the left leg of the Pisces constellation. And in this specific star, there is a group of entities. We are not sure of the name of these specific entities or the galactic name of these entities, but what we are perceiving is that this specific group of entities is one that is of the type 2 energy, but not of the malevolent sort. It is one that is very common amongst reptilian energies within the galaxy. They are perhaps willing to overstep certain lines in order to help a race, or in order to see that whatever means that is needed for them in their own perception is met. And when they are connecting to many different races, they are very indifferent in certain attributes, such as conscious evolution, such as integration of higher consciousness. But in this specific entity lies a great curiosity for your own energy. This entity is stepping outside of its normal bounds, or outside of its collective consciousness normality, and then inspecting your energy, and is very excited to see the expansion of your consciousness, the expansion of the integrated portions of your own self. And when they are looking at the higher energies that lie within you, it makes them very excited. So as their excitement is piqued and their curiosity is forming, and they are connecting more deeply with your own energy, they are able to perceive the multidimensional DNA expand in the attributes of their own physical reality. And when they are perceiving you in general and seeing your growth and seeing all of the energy that is attached to it, they are connecting to you through dream states, through energetic connection, and through your chakra systems and the feeling of a gut punch, or not specifically a punch, but a pressure within your third chakra, and also a feeling of expansion in your heart. If you are looking for the physical attributes of them, we are not positive of the physical nature, as I have never encountered previously the specific race. But what I am perceiving is that if their energy is similar to the 4 races in which I am very aware of, if their physical manifestates out as the energy mostly does in the other 4 races, what I could tell you of the 4 races that have a very similar energetic build is that they are approximately 4 1/2 foot tall, that they are approximately in between a dark purple and light gray in skin. They are large in scales. Their eyes are very large. Their eyes are not the same, perhaps, as mine would be. They are not the same as many entities that you perceive as reptilians. They are slightly higher and slightly further apart. And in the connection of their own physical body, they are having many attributes of reptilian entities in your perception: the long tail, the long toes or claws within toes, and finger claws. And each of these entities that we are aware of has one specific attribute that is very different from the others, and this is protrusions coming upwards and downwards from the top of the spine, or from the base of the neck to the base of the tail, and all of these are protrusions. 3 of the races have triangular protrusions. One of them are more cylindrical protrusions, not cylindrical, but as the top of a hill, a very smooth bump. So we are not sure which of these are, but we do find within looking at physical attributes of entities, if we see the energetic overall signature of the physicality of the entity and place them side by other variances, we are often able to calculate the physicality of the look within a 92% or higher probability.
Excellent. Well, that's a lot of details. Thank you so much.
Yes, you are very welcome. We wish to express to you all this evening before disconnecting that we are never truly disconnecting, that we are always with you in all of our energies, and although we may not speak in the same way that we are speaking to you this evening, for more than a week or more than a month or more than a year or more than a lifetime from now. What we would tell you is that our words are our heart's understandings. And letting my heart speak for myself and Aridif's heart speaking for itself is greater than any words that we would ever be able to share with you. I do wish to express to you all it's been a great joy and a great pleasure. And with these concepts being expressed, I will leave you all this evening in love and in light. And we will experience each other again very soon.
Thank you, Treb.
Yes! Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good session now.
Yes.
All right, so I take it went well?
Very well.
Oh, yes.
I was fishing. Oh, hang out with Treb, it's always playing. Oh, he's a handsome fellow. You got that picture. That's a good picture. Eduardo made that one of them, and also did one of ours that was pretty good. But
Can you see what they look like then?
Yeah.
I see Treb. I don't see Aridif. I've seen Aridif a couple times in flashes, but I just don't. Yeah, Kalina's seen more of Aridif than I have. So yeah, he's amazing.
So the pictures that is it Vashta that drew them pictures?
This right now are Eduardo's, but these are the ones that Vashta
So how do they draw them? Like,
they do digital art, which
Well,
so can they see in their mind though?
Yeah, they're getting those perceptions from lots of places like Vashta.
the one that I did, and I don't have any kind of digital art.
Yeah, Kalina's picture of Aridif was the second one ever
Yeah.
released, and it
Oh,
was the
that's-
one that
Because
everyone
there was
bases
space,
there.
So I made them look a little less physical, but.
So can you and Vashta and the other person you mentioned, can you draw other people's guides?
Well, I think they were based off me, but Vashta was also getting an energetic impression of Treb
A what?
Awaken within. She's a
Yeah, some people are doing it intuitively. Others are actually taking descriptions, like Eduardo Khen, the guy who did the last picture of Treb.
Yeah.
He's taking the physical description that Treb gave of himself in the book,
Yeah.
plus my extensive.
And that's the one that's the closest.
Energetically, it's very, very close.
Yeah.
I would say, in my perception, from the physical nature of Treb,
Yeah.
the one, yes, the one that a man named David Chase did is
Yeah.
probably the closest. That one.
Oh, was
To
it?
me, my opinion, that's the physically closest one to Treb. That's the version of Treb that looks
I'd love for
more
someone to
man.
draw my own guides just to know what they look like.
He's got a little tail.
Yeah. It's not real big.
Does that have any use?
I don't.
Does he look
vestigial?
It moves, but it doesn't move a lot. I'm not sure if it has.
Aridif looks great,
This
doesn't he?
impulse
He's
asked
got
what happened to
amazing eyes and
dinosaurs.
stuff.
I had this impulse to ask Treb what happened to dinosaurs.
Oh, well,
It reminds me of one of, you know,
Dinosaurs.
like what Bashar calls cryptics. He looks like a cryptic. Do you think he looks like that, or because they look like sort of little elves, sort of like similar to little elves? You know? He looks a little bit.
Only
like
he's
that.
about 8 foot tall, right?
Huh?
Aridif? No, he's only 3.
No, Treb.
3 foot. That's what I mean. He's small as well.
Treb's like, isn't Treb 8 feet tall?
yeah, he's about 7.5, but
Well,
yeah.
I didn't really take up the class this time, but I'm really curious about their lives on their planets. You know, what do they eat?
Have you read his book?
Yeah.
I just ordered it last night.
Yeah.
What their society is like.
All of that will get explained to you in the book, and it is amazing. The basic day-to-day life is covered, but what's cool about it is each one of their day-to-day lives is so different. And they're living in the same place, all doing the same things, but it's so different. It's pretty amazing when you read the book. And if you don't want to wait for your book to get there, you can always download the free PDF version on your computer and read it that way too. It's on the Treb website under book sales. So All right, guys, I feel like we've had a hell of a workshop, and then we can call it right. I want to thank all of you guys personally again from the bottom of my heart. This couldn't have been what it was without all of you.
Oh, thank you.
And I love you guys very much.